Hello, beautiful Cancer crab, Sun, Moon, Rising Venus, and North Node. Welcome to my channel. My name's Elle. I am a tarot reader, and I have another channel called Elle's Temple, which is Pega card readings. And I felt guided to set up another channel, which is this one, True North Zodiac Tarot, for the zodiac sign readings. Now, the way I'm going to be doing these readings is they are going to be completely timeless. I'm going to aim to upload for each sign once a week. So this is the first Cancerian one. Welcome. If you are here for the first time, I'm also here for the first time. We're both new. So yeah, they'll be completely timeless. If you are watching at the time of upload, I am recording this literally on the Scorpio new moon and eclipse. So you can certainly use this particular reading as a kind of energy check-in for what you might be going through around the time of the Scorpio new moon. However, if it's not the Scorpio new moon when you're watching it, just trust that if you're guided to it, if you like the picture or the title or whatever, if you feel pulled to it, then it's a timeless reading and there might be something in it for you. So without further ado, Cancers. I love Cancers. I'm Taurus Sun, and Tauruses and Cancers are like, I don't know why, it's really weird because animal-wise, you would not think a bull and a crab would get on. Really? Bulls and crabs get on? I feel like a bull would maybe stomp on a crab. But in terms of energetically, Tauruses and Cancers are just like, I love you guys. Most of my best friends are Cancers. You got Queen of Pentacles to begin with. I'm just going to pull a few cards and then I'll read the little story and see what's coming out. What's coming in for Cancer, for the Spirit? Did that one? That kind of jumped, but it didn't come out. That one came out. 1 second. Okay, we got Yummy, the Lovers. Woo! So Gemini also got the Lovers, which is interesting. And that's Gemini energy, so there might be like a Gemini person in your life. Let's just see what else is going on because I want to get a context here. What's going on for Cancer? Crap. Whoa. That's a lot. Is it all of these? Okay, I'm going to take all of them. So we've got, not in reverse. Okay, so we've got 8 of Swords. I have to move them over because you've got a lot now. 7 of Pentacles. The Sun. Woo. Wow. And the World. My goodness. You've got a lot of major arcana. 3 major arcana. We've got the Lovers, the Sun, and the World. That is a lot of big stuff going on for you guys. So if you are watching this at the time of the Scorpio new moon or eclipse, this could be some big cycles that are like closing out and beginning, some big changes that might be happening for you, big shifts in your life, because major arcana can talk of like kind of, it's like sort of life path type stuff, or like major life changing moments and things like that, life decisions. So yeah, you guys are in the thick of it. It's interesting because there's no real water energy here, aside from the fact that in this picture the woman is on the beach, but the World is not really technically a water card. So we've got air energy with Swords, we've got earth energy with 7 of Pentacles, a lot of earth energy actually, because we've got Queen of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles. And then, yeah, like I said, 3 major arcanas, the Lovers, the Sun, and the World. That was just a quick little recap. Let's get into what is going on for you guys. Cancer. Wowza. Okay, so I feel like Cancers, you guys are being... you guys are being a little bit... you're being a bit like your sign. You're being a little bit crab-like and keeping yourself kind of in your shell, shut down, and behind a sort of a cage. It's like with this 8 of Swords, if this person stood up, they would see that they could get past the swords, and then they could probably like grab a sword and use it to cut away at everything. So it's kind of like Eight of Swords is, you know, self-imposed restrictions. And that does come quite naturally for, well, I don't want to say, it's not like self-imposed restrictions come naturally for Cancers, but perhaps self-imposed hiding comes somewhat naturally to Cancerians. And I think you're sort of doing that in relation to something. And it could likely be this lover's connection. So for some of you, it could be a relationship that you're sort of hiding from a little bit, and you're hiding behind something. Like you've put your shell, your wall up around you. And there's something, she's blindfolded here as well. It's like there's something she doesn't want to see about this lover's connection. If it's not related to a relationship, now, of course, these are timeless readings, remember. So this is not like, this is Cancer's reading for November. So if you're not resonating with this message now, it could be that there's another reading for you that will come out in the future. So just don't force it to fit. But if it's not to do with a relationship, this could just be to do with like something that you love, right? So it could be a hobby or a passion project or something that you really love that you're kind of hiding from. And you're not, it's like you're not seeing yourself as deserving of it, or you're not seeing yourself as able to get past the barriers in order to get to this. So some of you could be like single and you're wanting to call this in, but you're kind of, you're like, oh, I can't love this person, or I can't attract a partnership because I'm this and this or something, or like I'm just too introverted, or you know, like I don't want to open myself up to someone. I'm not ready to open myself up to someone, or something like that. I feel like this Queen of Pentacles is your person or the situation. Again, if this is like not a person or a relationship, but like a passion project, like a job or a something that you love to do, but you're kind of keeping yourself hidden and in your little crab shell. It's like, this is the energy of the person making the offer. Like they're just in this beautiful sovereignty energy. They could be, if it's a person, they could be an earth sign. And even though it's got the queen is a woman, it doesn't have to be a woman. It's just that energy of being in that feminine mastery of like being very earthy and grounded and, you know, stable and, you know, kind of self-sufficient, perhaps financially independent, that kind of energy. So it could be that person is, or that energy is in your life in some way, and you're holding yourself back from it because you don't think you're worthy or deserving or able to do it. It's like there's some kind of self-imposed restriction or shell that you've put around you. But I feel like Cancer, with Seven of Pentacles, it's like it is working and it's going to work, but just you need to give it time. Like getting over these self-imposed restrictions isn't going to happen overnight. Like knocking each of these swords down and getting up and realizing you can rip off the you know, the rope that ties your hands and take off your blindfold isn't going to happen straight away. You're working towards that. With Seven of Pentacles, it's like you're checking in with yourself of like when you're going to be ready. It's not like you're like completely shut down to the point where you're like, I'm just never going to be ready forever. You're kind of consciously aware of the fact that you've hidden yourself away and you've hermited yourself away. You're aware, but you're checking in with yourself like, am I ready? Am I ready? Maybe I'm ready. Like this person's looking at these grapes like, are they ready to harvest? They might almost be ready to harvest, you know, like some of them are purple, like some of them are still green, but like some of them are going purple, like, there could be something ready to harvest here. Like maybe, just maybe, I could have a family and just have loads of fun and be out in the sun and like really enjoy life and have all these things, have all these wonderful things that people have. I could have them too, maybe. It's kind of where you're heading with the sun and then the world. You know, this can speak of like a completion of a cycle. So I feel like this Eight of Swords is something that you're moving towards closing out with the world here. And you're getting ready, like you're preparing for that. You're checking in with yourself. Like when am I going to be ready for that? Whether it's a lover, like a relationship, whether it's to have a family. Some of you might be like, oh, maybe I want to be a mum now or a dad. Like maybe I am ready to have kids. Maybe I'm ready to start a family, or maybe I am ready to go after that job or that project that I love, that I've been talking myself out of for a really long time. And it's like you're kind of moving from, and this is not overnight, but over time you're moving. And this is one of the things that if you are watching this at the Scorpio eclipse, this could be really shifting out for you big time. You're releasing this to move into this. You're moving from Eight of Swords to the world. Look at the difference in the energy. She's completely carefree in this one. She's throwing her hat to the air. She's in her element. She's right by the beach. She's got her feet in the water. That's you, crabs. That's you, cancers. You've got your feet in the water. You know, you're not out of your element on earth here, like just sitting here like tied down. It's like you're just flying free. You know, this could speak of moving. It could speak of travel. Maybe there's a call towards actually going to be near the ocean or something. Or traveling somewhere, because the world card can speak of, if it's not to do with like endings and therefore new beginnings, because the world card is the last card in the major arcana, so it closes out a cycle, it closes out the hero or heroine's journey, and it starts a new one, which I feel like is more what's going on for you. But this could be the other meaning of the world card is travel. You know, world travel, literally the world, going out into the world, seeing the world. So this could be to do with you holding yourself back from the world. Maybe there's some kind of business that you want to put out in the world, Queen of Pentacles. There's some kind of offer. There's some kind of something that you could make money from, or long-lasting stability from. Something that you love to do, that you've been working on internally for quite a while, that you're checking and you're like, maybe it's ready. Maybe I'm ready. Maybe it's ready to put out into the light. Maybe I'm ready to shine my light, to step into that solar plexus energy, that Leo energy. Maybe I'm ready to shine my light and put this out in the world and celebrate it with people. Put it out in the world, and you got the world card. So, you know, you could look at this in a number of different ways. Obviously, it's a general reading, so just take it as it resonates. For some of you, this is a project, a business you're wanting to start that you've been holding yourself back from, a love relationship you've been holding yourself back from, family you've been kind of not sure whether you're ready to start a family. And I feel like with the Sun and the World, you're ending on these two major arcana cards, which is just like beautiful energy coming through, and like so powerful and potent and transformative. Look how light and bright this energy is compared with this, like the difference in, you know, how gray and dark. Even this card is a little bit, you know, even though there's a fire there, but it's like, it's sort of just, there's this kind of darker energy on this side, and then it just, it's like, this is what you're moving into, the Sun, you know. And the Sun can also speak of like in the inner child or children, in terms of like, you know, what did you love to do when you were a child? You know, having fun in that way, honoring your inner child, like doing inner child healing. Also maybe getting out in nature could be useful for you. Maybe some of you are moving to somewhere that has a lot of sunflowers or something. Could be different for all of you. I feel like that's all I have for the tarot. It's a fairly it's funny because there's lots of different potential scenarios, but it's a fairly straightforward message in terms of like, essentially just transcending your Eight of Swords inhibitions, Cancer, the things that you've been hiding from, the light that you've been hiding from this sun for a long time, I feel like, Cancer, and you're checking in with yourself, and you're checking in with whether you are ready to be harvested, and the answer is you are. Whatever it is that you love, whether it's a person, a family, a project, this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. For many of you it will be, for some of you it's something completely different. It's just something that you love, and you're checking in with yourself, and you're like, I think I'm nearly ready. I think I'm ready to go out in the world. I think I'm ready to like just throw my hat to the wind and see what happens in the next cycle. Like just see where it takes me. Let's just see where it goes. You're moving back into it's like out of air energy and earth energy and into this water, going with the flow and seeing where it leads. Okay, I'm going to pull an oracle card for you. Let's just see. I might end up getting a couple actually. Most of the other signs, I only had one, but I think with you guys, I feel like this is the one. So let's just see what comes out. So this is the Goddesses, Gods and Guardians deck by Sophie Bashford. Let's see. Let me have a card for Cancer. Woo, that one came flying out. No way. That's not possible. You got the same one as, well, it is possible obviously, but you got the same card as Gemini, opponent, earth magic. That is fascinating. There's been a lot of crossovers here today. There's definitely collective themes going on, which is really interesting. So this was all about like getting out into nature, and we have this really with like the sun and the world, like, you know, they're out in nature, they're in a garden, they're right by the sea, you know, so there's a big push towards doing that. I know some of you might be in the northern hemisphere, you might be in like England or Scotland, and like, are you kidding me? Like, it's freezing here. I'm not going near the beach, but you know, just whenever you can, or in whatever way you can. I mean, it's if you are in the northern hemisphere, it's autumn, so hopefully you're getting some days where you can wrap up warm and go out into forest, especially with earth magic. It's that kind of elemental energy that's in a forest, like tree energy in particular. Yeah, there's just a lot around. And also there's water behind her actually here. So definitely maybe there's a river near you, especially Cancerians being water babies, connecting with water is really important. So if you can go and walk near a stream, near a river, something like that, that could be very, very healing for you. It could help you release a lot of this like hiding energy. This, no, I don't want to come out in the world. No, don't make me. This little crab like, no, don't look. If I don't look at anyone, no one can see me, kind of thing. That's how I feel your energy right now, or how you maybe have been, is like it's like, oh, it's so cute. It's like a little child, like when they're I'm not saying you're like a child, I'm just saying the energy perhaps of your inner child, because we spoke about the inner child. The energy of your inner child is kind of like, don't make me go in the world. And it's like, it's almost like, even though it's in a room where it can be seen, but it thinks that, well, if I just put my hands over my face, no one else can see me because I can't see anyone else. And it's almost like that. It's like, if I just cover my eyes and I can't see anyone, then they can't see me and I can't see anything else, and I can just exist in my little crab-like world. And it's like, yeah, get out in nature to help like release some of those shackles, some of those inhibitions into nature. You'll feel something shift. Horses could be really powerful for you, and especially also crystals. For those of you who connect with crystals, especially purple crystals will help you connect with your intuition. But it doesn't have to be a purple crystal, just crystals in general. It's very like earth, magical earth energy that's very healing. This could be calling you. One of the messages in this book was that it's it might be a call towards going towards some sort of crystal healing, or being like a crystal healer. That could be one of the that is one of the messages of this particular card. So that could be something that you guys have been contemplating, and you really love crystals, or you love that type of stuff, and you've been working on it with Seven of Pentacles. You've been chipping away at something. Chipping away and stones. You've been chipping away at it for a while. And now it's time to bring it out into the light. It's time to go after it. I think it actually said, I'm gonna look up the book again, because I think it said something about if you have a chance to train in it, then do it. Train as, or visit a crystal healing practitioner. That will be very helpful to help you break out of this Eight of Swords energy, these self-inhibitions. And we all have those. This is not just Cancer. I mean, every sign has, we can all end up in Eight of Swords energy. We can be our own worst enemy. We can like restrict ourselves, but especially, that like willingness to kind of hide can come quite naturally to, I mean, it's, to be honest, like I'm a Taurus sun, and like I have a similar thing. Like I feel like Tauruses, we can be a little bit like wary of the spotlight as well. We're kind of like not, it's sort of almost like that sun energy is Leo energy, and Tauruses and Cancers are not like that. Like we don't really have that Leo ability. We're much more likely to just like, with Tauruses, it's kind of like, let me just go and rest somewhere. I'm just going to go and sort of sit in a field over here and chomp on some grass. And with Cancers, it's like, let me just go and like be in my crab shell over here. And they're both very home creatures, and they like home comforts, and they tend to be more introverted. And of course, these are like a little bit stereotypical of those signs, obviously. And there's going to be some Cancers and some Tauruses who are sitting there going, that's nothing like me. And of course, we are a whole beautiful contradiction and, conglomeration of all the different signs depending on your chart. But I'm just saying, in terms of one of the energetic things that a Cancer has, one of the archetypes, I guess, that the Cancer has to work through is coming out of their shell. And that doesn't come easy. And so the Eight of Swords is quite an appropriate card for Cancer archetypes, because that is part of what the Cancer archetype is there to perhaps learn to transcend a little bit, is coming out into the light and not hiding. And sort of putting your, I feel like it's kind of, this is more to do with like putting your talents out in the world. Like I said, for some of you, it's like a love relationship, but for a lot of you, it's to do with like putting yourself out there in some way. So it also spoke about, the opponent card also speaks about, it says you're being guided towards a special natural setting to relax your body and engage your spirit. Be open to receiving a message delivered through your feelings and intuition, which is very Cancer energy. Like you're very in touch with that side of you, especially if you're able to connect with that like water element. That will help you tap into that side of you. Queen Epona says you are a crystal and nature healer. The jewels of the earth are calling to you. They bring spiritual protection and reattune you to magical powers. Listen to the messages given by trees, streams, flowers, plants, and crystals. They hold vital keys to protecting Mother Gaia. They're also essential for your well-being and spiritual path right now. Yeah. I feel like for some of you, you might have been considering and sort of chipping away at, working away at some kind of project related to healing or becoming a healer in whatever form. It doesn't have to be strictly crystals, but it could be some kind of environmental healer or something to do with nature. Maybe taking people on like guided nature walks, or like in nature settings like wild camping or something like that. Getting in touch with nature, learning how to use nature. Look, you can see here they're in a forest. There's a campfire here, so this could be something that you really love with the lovers. There's no coincidence that this came out. There's a lot of green energy here if you look at the cards, and a lot of outdoors energy. In fact, pretty much every single card is outdoors. Fire. We've got trees there. We've got another tree there. Grapevines. I've just marked up the whole order of the cards. Which way did they go? That way, the sun, the sea, all the sort of elements are there. And that could be something that you're very at home in. That's something that you are very at home in, Cancer, generally, especially water. So I'm going to pick one more card. Let's just move these up. Might be a message for some of you about horses as well, maybe doing horse healing or work with horses. It could be a sign to say, go ahead with that. This is the Crystal Mandala Oracle by Alana Fairchild, which I just got today. So you guys are only the second pile. Sorry, the second zodiac sign. I also pulled a crystal card for Tauruses. So I'm going to finish with one of these because I feel that there's another message in here for you. Woo. Just a bit of a clumsy shuffle. Let's see. Oh, my hands are really small, so I can't really hold these cards very well. Let's see what card comes through for you guys. Whoa. Okay, that's a lot. I'm not going to take all. I just want one. Which one is it? There we go. Yeah, I felt it was this one. Again, with water. Ascended Master Mary Magdalene and Aqua Aura Quartz Divine Alchemy. It's this beautiful, like, greeny, aqua green, heart chakra energy. That is so beautiful. By the way, these cards are, like, embedded with the energy of the crystals. So you can, if you want to pause the video and really, like, attune to the energetic healing, I guess, that is embedded in the card, you can actually, if you're open to it, and especially if you are into crystals, which some of you might be with that Epona card and the crystal on there, just, you know, really connect in. Otherwise, if you've got Aqua Aura Quartz, or Angel Aura Quartz for that matter, if you've got some kind of Aura Quartz crystal that could be really relevant to you right now. Let's have a look at the... Sorry, I'm new to this deck. I just got it. So let me just read the message from the book, 24. Here we go. It's a really long... This book is amazing, by the way. If you don't have any of Alana Fairchild's decks, I would highly recommend them. I've got the Sacred Rebel Oracle, which is incredible, and also the Isis Oracle, and they're both amazing. And they have really long, very comprehensive guidance messages, which are usually incredibly accurate and specific to your situation, and also a healing process. So I will hold up the healing process to the camera in a moment, but I'm not going to read it all because I'll be here for like 15 minutes reading the whole thing. So let's just read the introduction. We bring you the blessing of divine alchemy. Divine alchemy is the art of transmutation, the application of spiritual consciousness to physical form, so profound that an entirely new form evolves. It is irreversible change. It is the coal transformed into the diamond, the lead of sleeping matter awakened into the radiant gold of consciousness. Hello, what did we talk about with the sun coming out into the light? Yep. Successful alchemical transformation requires patience, courage, and a belief in the power of spirit above all else. Yeah, and Seven of Pentacles was talking about patience and like just checking in and seeing as things are progressing. So it's all confirming. The radical and permanent transformation effected by divine alchemy may seem miraculous to the outsider viewing the changed form, yet the alchemist knows that when spiritual consciousness meets physical matter, the world will never be the same again. Let me just check if there's any other messages Spirit want me to read out. Oh, this is interesting because it's backing up what the Epona card was saying. So the sole task of divine alchemists is to repair the damage that fear-based consciousness has generated in the world. A divine alchemist may do this with a focus on environmental or socioeconomic issues, or through the arts, creative expression, healing work with the body, mind, and soul, or through cooking and educating others about nourishment. These are all, by the way, very Cancerian things. My feeling is Cancer is very connected with the goddess Ceres, or Demeter, who's the goddess of like the grain and the harvest and nurturing and like the mother goddess. So it's kind of that whole energy. So if you're thinking about doing something related to that, it could be saying, that could be a sign about kind of pursuing that. So alchemists may do their work on the greater human collective powerfully, but behind the scenes, they may do this by bringing higher consciousness into their own being and then allowing that to permeate their work in the corporate, financial, legal, or political sectors, or in the worlds of marketing and media, where their elevated spiritual frequency is so very needed at this time. Yeah, it kind of goes on to talk about like how you're healing sort of collective fear and doubt and behavioral patterns and things like this. And you're going through a healing transformation, which is really substantial. There'll be a purging and a reconstruction. Yeah. So I'll hold up, hopefully you can read, if I hold this up to the camera and you can pause it and maybe take a picture. Ooh. The healing invocation for those of you that might be interested. I'm not sure if you can read that very well, but otherwise I'd highly recommend getting this deck. It's absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, it's quite in depth. So I think we'll leave it there, but I would highly recommend essentially, if you are into crystals and you can get hold of one, finding this particular crystal, I think it could be very healing for you, very transformative for you, could really help you through this sort of shift. Yeah, into like just sort of putting yourself out in the world and like feeling, it's like also kind of feeling that sun on you, you know, Cancer, like you've been in this situation here. It's like there's just this gray, it's like, you know, the weather in England. It's just this gray skies for a long time, and it's really heavy and like feels like it's going to rain all the time. And it's like, you know, you're coming into this phase in your life where, you know, you're deserving of feeling like the sun on you, like the sun on your skin and lighting you up, and this just beautiful, bright, sunny energy. I also just noticed this is very like triple goddess energy on this particular version of the Sun card. We've got like Maiden, Mother, Crone here as well. So you might be going through, for some of you, this transformation that card talked about. We were just talking about a big alchemical transformation that you're going through, like a purge and a reconstruction. That could be transitioning from Maiden to Mother, Mother to Crone, something like that. There could be quite a big transition that you're going through, and then sort of like going into the depths to mine all the wisdom that you need to get through that transition, and then coming out the other side into the light again. So it's like you're going through quite a I'm hearing like 360 degree shift, so like a full cycle, which makes sense because we got the world, which is, like I said, it's the hero or heroine's journey who's gone through the whole 21 cards of the major arcana, starting from the Fool, finishing up with the world. So it's like you're deserving of getting to this point of being able to put your, you know, relax, put your feet in the sand, you know, throw your hat to the wind. It's like you've done your work. It's like you're naturally a healer. You've done your sort of soul healing and transformation yourself, Cancer. And, you know, I feel like you are kind of ready to share it now, to get it out in the world. Whoops, that went there. You're ready you're checking, you're nearly ready. It's sort of about ready to pop. Like, I can't pick it up. It's about ready to pop. You're like, the grapes are about ready to harvest. That they're like 7 of Pentacles. You're kind of 7/10 of the way there. But it's happening. It's happening. It's gonna happen. You're sort of on that path. yeah, it's interesting. This another Cancer, a lovely Cancerian soul, the beautiful Cancerian woman that I'm, a crone and wise woman and medicine woman that I'm in contact with, who does astrology and lots of things. She was talking about how Mary Magdalene for her is very much this color, like this aqua blue kind of colors, the green and the sort of connection with the heart chakra. Whereas I said for me, I'm 40, so I'm not kind of in my crone years yet, but I felt for me that Mary Magdalene is more the sort of root and sacral chakras. And she said that it can, you know, like with these ascended masters and these kind of goddesses and whatever, that it can depend on like where you're at as to like what wisdom or what energy you will get. So with that sun card, this comes back to like maiden, mother, crone. Like if you're transitioning into the mother, you're gonna feel the energy from Mary Magdalene as this orangey sacral energy, creative energy, putting your creative work out in the world. If you're a mother transitioning into cronehood, you're kind of you're at that point where the energy that would be used for your monthly cycle is, and apologies if you're a male here and you're just sitting here going, what the hell? But the energy you would use for your menstruation or your monthly cycle, once you go into cronehood or menopause, that energy moves up to your heart chakra, and it is used, it's like you get an overpowering, like unconditional love in your heart chakra, and you're able to give that love out because you're not putting it towards growing a baby or into a sexual partnership or something. So you're able to put it out in the world in a different way. And so just see, like Mary Magdalene might show up to you depending on which stage of your journey you're at. Some of you might be younger. You know, you might not even be transitioning into this motherhood phase yet. You might be transitioning from like late teen years into being like a young maiden, into being the point where you're kind of ready to go into like, you know, think about going into partnerships and stuff. But I feel like for more of you, this is to do with like getting to the point of putting your work out into the world, in whichever form that is, your soul work, the stuff that in fact, actually, maybe some of you do this type of work where you're working with people to help them through transitions. I'm hearing someone who helps people, I'm sorry, I don't know what the word for this is, or I can't remember what the word for it is, but like a grief counselor or someone who helps, what is the word for that? Someone who helps someone once someone's passed over or something like that. Like, yeah, or like someone who, you could be a midwife or someone who helps women go through the transition of from pregnancy into motherhood or something like that, you know. But take that as a sign that like if you do that type of alchemy work, that type of transforming work, that type of transcending work, that type of working with people in transitions, this is a sign from like Mary Magdalene or Goddess Epona to like really follow that calling, to follow that healing path. Like you were on that path for a reason. And yeah, wow, that got really specific, Gemini. I hope that kind of resonated for some of you. And also this reading went on really, really long. You got a much longer reading than everyone else. So sorry, I just called you Gemini. Cancer. I'm so sorry. That is a sign that I need to stop reading for the evening because this has gone on too long. But I love you guys. I love Cancers. You know, don't tell the other signs, but you're kind of my favorite. So it's been an absolute delight and a pleasure to read for you today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you liked it. Put a comment below if it resonated for you. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you'd like to be notified of another reading. And all the best with your path, and I will see you in the next video. All my love. Bye bye.